Once upon a time, in the city of Enugu, there lived a young woman named Chioma who was 24 years old. Chioma was beautiful, kind, and hardworking. She had smooth dark skin, a bright smile, and a heart so pure that everyone in her neighborhood loved her. She sold fruits at Ogbete Market, and even when business was slow, she always found time to help elderly women carry their loads or give free oranges to children who had no money. Chioma was married to a handsome man named Emeka, who was 28 years old. Emeka worked as a driver for a wealthy businessman in Enugu. He loved Chioma with all his heart, and together they lived in a small but cozy house at the edge of town. They didn't have much money, but they had love, and that was enough for them. Now, Emeka's father had passed away many years ago, and his mother, Mama Adaeze, had remarried a woman. Yes, you heard that right. Emeka's father had 2 wives before he died, and the second wife was a woman named Obiagili. But everyone called her Mama Neka because her only daughter was named Neka. Mama Neka was 52 years old, short and very fat. She had a round face that looked friendly, but her heart was darker than the deepest well. She always wore expensive wrappers and big gold earrings that made her look important, but inside she was full of wickedness and greed. Mama Neka had one daughter, Neka, who was 26 years old. Neka was lazy and rude. She never walked, never cooked, and spent all day looking at herself in the mirror and gossiping with her friends. Mama Neka loved Neka so much that she spoiled her rotten, like a banana left in the sun for too many days. When Emeka's father was alive, he had bought a large piece of land near the river in Enugu. The land was very valuable because rich people wanted to build hotels and shops there. Before he died, Emeka's father wrote in his will that the land should belong to his first son, Emeka. But there was one problem. The will said that Emeka would only get the land papers after his mother, Mama Adaeze, passed away. Mama Adaeze was now 70 years old and very sick. She lived with Mama Neka in a big house that Emeka's father had built. Emeka visited his mother every week with Chioma, bringing her fruits, medicine, and love. But Mama Neka had a wicked plan brewing in her evil mind like poison in a pot. One Tuesday afternoon, Mama Neka was sitting in her parlor with her daughter Neka, eating fried plantain and drinking palm wine. She looked at Neka with her small, cunning eyes and said, "My daughter, I have been thinking." "Thinking about what, Mama?" Neka asked, licking oil from her fingers. "That land by the river, it is worth millions of naira. Builders are looking for land in that area. If we can get that land, we will be rich, very, very rich." Neka's eyes widened like a cat seeing a rat. "But Mama, the land belongs to Emeka. Papa wrote it in his will." Mama Neka laughed, and her laugh sounded like a witch cackling at midnight. "My dear, there are many ways to kill a rat. We just need to be smart." "What do you mean, Mama?" Neka leaned forward, interested. "Listen carefully," Mama Neka whispered, looking around to make sure nobody was listening. "If something happens to that foolish Chioma, Emeka will be so heartbroken that he will not think straight. And if Emeka becomes useless with grief, who will take care of the land? Who will manage it? Me. And when Mama Adaeze finally dies, I will forge the papers and say the land belongs to you." Neka clapped her hands with joy. "Mama, you are so smart. But how will we do it?" Mama Neka smiled wickedly. I have a plan. Just follow my lead. The very next day, Mama and Nneka went to visit Chioma at the market. She bought a big bag of oranges from Chioma's store and spoke very sweetly. Chioma, my dear daughter-in-law, you are looking so beautiful today, Mama Nneka said with a fake smile. Chioma was surprised because Mama Nneka had never been nice to her before. In fact, Mama Nneka usually ignored her or complained that Emeka had married a poor girl. Thank you, Mama, Chioma said respectfully, though she felt something was strange. My dear, I want to apologize for being cold to you all these years, Mama Nneka continued, placing her fat hand on Chioma's shoulder. You are a good wife to my son, and I have been wicked. Please, can you come to my house on Saturday? I want to cook a special meal for you and Emeka. Let us start afresh as family. Chioma's heart was filled with joy. She had always wanted Mama Nneka to accept her. Oh, Mama, thank you so much. We will come. That Saturday, Chioma wore her best dress, a beautiful blue Ankara with yellow flowers. She and Emeka went to Mama Nneka's house carrying gifts, a bottle of wine, a bag of rice, and some fresh fish from the market. When they arrived, Mama Nneka welcomed them with open arms like a snake welcoming a mouse into its hole. She had cooked jollof rice, fried chicken, and even pepper soup. The aroma filled the whole house. Come, sit down and eat, Mama Nneka said cheerfully. But Emeka noticed something. Mama, where is Mama Adaize? Is she not eating with us? Oh, she is sleeping. Mama Nneka waved her hand dismissively. You know she is old and tired. Let her rest. After they finished eating, Mama Nneka turned to Chioma with a cunning look. Chioma, my dear, I need your help with something. What is it, Mama? Chioma asked innocently. You see, I have a special clay pot that I left by the river last week. I was washing clothes there and I forgot it. It belonged to my own mother and it is very precious to me. Can you please help me fetch it? The river is just 15 minutes walk from here. Chioma stood up immediately. Of course, Mama. I will go right now. But Emeka stood up too. Let me come with you, my wife. No, Mama Nneka said quickly. Emeka, I need you to help me move some heavy bags of rice in the store. It will only take a few minutes. Let Chioma go. She is a strong woman. She will be fine. Emeka didn't want to, but he respected his stepmother. Okay, Mama, but Chioma, please be careful and come back quickly. Chioma kissed her husband on the cheek and left the house, walking toward the river. As soon as Chioma left, Mama Nneka turned to Nneka and whispered, Follow her. Make sure everything goes according to plan. Nneka nodded and quietly slipped out of the house. Chioma reached the river after walking for about 20 minutes. The river was quiet and beautiful. The water flowed gently, making a soft sound. Swish, swish, swish. Birds sang in the trees and the sun was beginning to set, painting the sky orange and pink. Chioma looked around for the clay pot, searching near the rocks and under the bushes. Where is this pot? She muttered to herself. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. She turned around and saw Mama Nneka walking toward her with a strange look on her face. Nneka was behind her mother, smiling wickedly. Mama, Chioma said surprised, I thought you were at home. I cannot find the pot anywhere. Mama Nneka's face changed. The fake smile disappeared and her eyes became cold and evil. There is no pot, you foolish girl. Chioma's heart began to beat fast. Bim, bim, bim. Mama, what do you mean? I mean, Mama Nneka said, stepping closer, that you are standing in the way of my wealth. That land by the river is worth millions, and I will not let you and that useless Emeka take it from me. Mama, I don't understand. You don't need to understand, Mama Nneka shouted. All you need to know is that you will not leave this river alive." Before Chioma could run, Mama Neka and Neka rushed toward her. Chioma tried to scream, but Neka covered her mouth. They dragged her toward the edge of the river. "Mama, please, no. Why are you doing this?" Chioma's voice was shaking with fear. "Because I am greedy," Mama Neka laughed. "And in this world, greedy people win. Goodbye, Chioma." With a powerful push, Mama Neka shoved Chioma into the river. Splash! Chioma fell into the cold water. She tried to swim, but the current was too strong. The water pulled her down, down, down. She kicked her legs and waved her arms, but she couldn't breathe. Her whole life flashed before her eyes. Her childhood, her wedding day, Emeka's smile. "Help! Help!" she choked, swallowing water. Mama Neka and Neka stood at the riverbank, watching. "Let us go," Mama Neka said coldly. "The river will finish the job." They turned and walked away, laughing like hyenas. But what Mama Neka and Neka didn't know was that someone was watching them from behind a big tree near the river. His name was Okonko, a 35-year-old fisherman who lived in a small hut by the river. Okonko had come to check his fishing nets when he heard voices and saw the whole thing. His eyes widened in shock when he saw Mama Neka push Chioma into the water. "Ewo!" Okonko shouted. Without wasting time, he threw off his shirt and jumped into the river. Splash! Okonko was a very strong swimmer. He swam quickly through the water, fighting against the current. He saw Chioma sinking and grabbed her arm just in time. With all his strength, he pulled her up and dragged her to the shallow part of the river. "Come, come, come!" He slapped Chioma's back gently. Chioma coughed and vomited water. Water!" she gasped. "Thank God you are alive," Okonko said, breathing heavily. "I saw everything. That wicked woman tried to kill you." Chioma was too weak to speak. She just cried and cried, tears mixing with the river water on her face. Okonko carried Chioma to his hut and gave her dry clothes and hot pepper soup to warm her body. Then he said, "You must tell your husband what happened. That woman is dangerous." Meanwhile, back at Mama Neka's house, Emeka was getting worried. "Mama, Chioma has been gone for over an hour. What is taking her so long?" Mama Neka pretended to look concerned. I don't know. Maybe she got lost. You know how women are. They like to look at things on the way." Neka covered her mouth to hide her smile. But just as Mama Neka finished speaking, the door burst open. Kwa! Emeka turned around and saw Chioma standing in the doorway, soaking wet, with Okonko behind her. "Chioma!" Emeka ran to his wife. "What happened to you? Why are you wet?" Chioma pointed a shaking finger at Mama Neka. "She tried to kill me. She pushed me into the river." The whole room became silent. You could hear a pin drop. Emeka's face changed from confusion to anger. "What? Mama, is this true?" Mama Neka's face turned white like chalk. No, this girl is lying. I would never." "She is not lying." Okonko stepped forward. "I saw everything with my own eyes. This woman and her daughter pushed your wife into the river and left her to drown. I am the one who saved her." Emeka looked at Mama Neka with rage in his eyes. "How could you, my own stepmother? Because of what? Money? Land?" Mama Neka and Neka tried to run, but Emeka blocked the door. "You are not going anywhere. I am calling the police." Within 30 minutes, 2 police officers arrived at the house. Mama Neka and Neka were arrested on the spot. They cried and begged for mercy, but nobody listened to them. "Please, Emeka, forgive me. I was foolish. It was the devil." Mama Neka wailed as the police put handcuffs on her wrists. Kapam, kapam. You should have thought about that before you tried to kill my wife, Emeka said angrily. The police took them away to the station. Later, they were charged with attempted murder and went to court. The judge, a stern woman named Justice Ngozi, listened to Okonkwo's testimony and saw the evidence. She sentenced Mama Nneka to 15 years in prison and Nneka to 10 years. As they were being taken away to prison, Mama Nneka cried out, "Greed has destroyed me. I wanted everything, and now I have nothing. Oh, what have I done?" But it was too late. She and her daughter were locked up in Unugu Maximum Prison, where they would spend many years thinking about their wicked actions. Emeka took Chioma home and held her tightly. "I am so sorry, my wife. I almost lost you because of wickedness and greed." Chioma hugged him back. "It is not your fault. Evil people will always show their true colors in the end." Okonkwo became a hero in the community. Emeka gave him a huge reward, 1 million naira, for saving Chioma's life. Okonkwo used the money to buy new fishing nets and build a bigger house for his family. When Mama Adaize heard what Mama Nneka had tried to do, she was so shocked that she cried for 3 days straight. She called Emeka and Chioma to her room and gave them the land papers immediately. "My son," she said weakly, "take this land now. Build your future. I have seen enough wickedness in this family." Emeka and Chioma took the land papers and thanked Mama Adaize. They sold the land to a wealthy businessman for 20 million naira. With that money, they built a beautiful house, expanded Chioma's fruit business into a big supermarket, and lived happily. They also made sure to visit Okonkwo regularly, bringing him gifts and treating him like family. And every Sunday, they went to church to thank God for saving Chioma's life. As for Mama Nneka and Nneka, they remained in prison, eating terrible food and sleeping on hard beds. Mama Nneka's gold earrings were taken away and her expensive wrappers became torn and dirty. Every day, she would cry and say, "If only I had been content with what I had. If only I had not let greed control me." But there was no going back. Her greed had destroyed her family, sent her to prison, and taken away everything she loved. The lessons of this story are clear. First, greed is like a poison that destroys the greedy person from inside. Mama Nneka wanted more and more, and in the end, she lost everything: her freedom, her dignity, and her family. Second, evil people will always show their true colors in the end. You may think you can get away with evil, but God is watching and justice will always find you. Mama Nneka thought she had committed the perfect crime, but Okonkwo was watching and her evil plan failed. Third, never trust a smiling enemy. Mama Nneka pretended to be kind to Chioma, but her heart was full of evil. Always be careful of people who suddenly become too nice without reason. Fourth, kindness and goodness will always be rewarded. Chioma was kind to everyone, and that kindness came back to her when Okonkwo risked his life to save her. If you do good, good will follow you. Fifth, family betrayal is one of the worst sins. Mama Nneka betrayed her own stepson and his wife because of money. Blood may be thicker than water, but greed is thicker than blood. Sixth, contentment is the greatest wealth. If Mama Nneka had been satisfied with what she already had, she would not have ended up in prison. Learn to be grateful for what you have instead of always wanting more. And so, Emeka and Chioma lived long, prosperous lives, teaching their children to always choose kindness over wickedness and contentment over greed. They named their first daughter Chidimma, which means God is good, because God had truly been good to them. And whenever anyone in Enugu talked about greed and wickedness, they would remember the story of Mama Nenka, the wicked stepmother who pushed her daughter-in-law into the river and lost everything. Bye! See you on my next story.